Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about motivation. So I briefly talked to you guys or posted in Slim Jims that internal motivation is really important, right? We can all have external motivation. Even this call right here is external motivation, right? You can listen to all my training videos, you can read all of the books, you can go to all of the conventions, and right afterwards you usually feel extremely invigorated, you're ready to go, and then like 2 or 3 days pass and your motivation leaves you, right? Raise your hand if you've ever been there. I've been there. That is external motivation. Internal motivation is when you have it within and for yourself. And when you have that type of motivation, nothing's going to stand in your way. You don't need somebody to constantly be checking in with you. You don't need your upline to constantly be pulling you along the way. You don't need to be, having someone motivate you all the time because you are so internally motivated. So I did some research on ways to build that internal motivation. And there's scientific studies that back what these questions that I designed for you guys, it's going to back the reasons behind these questions. There's a reason each one of these questions exists. It's going to kind of tug and pull on your heartstrings, your emotions, your values, who you are as a person, even your fears as a person. And we're going to talk about this tonight. So this is a different type of Zoom. This is more along the lines of, I'm going to read questions and you guys are going to spend time answering them. I want you guys to journal them. Open up your laptop, get out your notepad, and I want you to really think about these. And if we have at least one person, I'd love for at least one person to share their answers. But for sake of time, we're going to go ahead and get started because some of this is a little time consuming, right? Because you have to write your own answers. So give me a thumbs up if you guys are ready. I'm going to pull out my notes. Thumbs up, anybody? Awesome. Okay. So question number 1 is, what do you want? What do you want in life? I want you to think deeply on this. This isn't just Plexus related. What do you want in life? What do you value? And why do you want these things? I want you guys to be answering this, journaling this. Why do you want these things? Right? Does it speak to certain core values and morals that you have? Certain dreams? And how can achieving goals in Plexus help you attain these things? What do you want in life? Why do you want these things? And how can Plexus help you attain these things? All right, so we're going to take about 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. Don't feel rushed, but I want you to answer that. What do you want in life? Why and how can Plexus help you get these things? If you're just hopping on, I see some people are joining us. If you're just hopping on, I went ahead and started with our first question. So this Zoom is a little different. I'm going to ask you questions and you're going to answer them. So the first question is, what do you want in life and why? And how can Plexus help you attain those things that you want? Right? What do you truly want in life? We're going to do for another minute of journaling, and don't worry, you can always come back to these. What do you want in life? Why and how can Plexus help you attain those things? Okay, so I'm going to share mine. So I'd like for somebody to share after each question if possible. So for me, my why has clearly evolved over time. I've been with Plexus for 5 years, and so my why has definitely changed. But truly, what my motivational factor for me is I always dreamt of having a large family, and having 3 kids is large for me. But I wanted to do it responsibly, financially responsibly. And I needed to know that I had that financial security in order to provide for a large family. That stems from my childhood. When I grew up with a single mom who worked 3 jobs. And as the oldest child of that family, I felt a lot of that pressure. And I saw my mom work to no end, and everything that my brother and I wanted, we had, but I felt shame about it because I was taking from the family. So I grew up thinking that my family wasn't good enough because we didn't have money. I had internal shame. I felt like, can y'all see me? Can y'all see me? Yeah, I'm getting some bad feedback here. Can y'all hear me okay at least? Yes? Okay, so I'm going to keep talking then. Okay, so anyway, I had some shame. I've never felt good enough because my family was not very well off. And that affected my childhood and it affected my life. And I knew that when I wanted to have a family, I didn't want that to be a part of their life. And so when I saw Plexus as an opportunity to not only be a way for me to afford a large family, but also do it without having the burden of finances, man, y'all, I busted down brick walls to make that happen. And so that was really motivational for me. And when I reached that, the fear of losing it, right, it scared me. So I wanted to maintain that and continue growing. But also, and in part because I retired my husband as well, so Plexus is our main income. But the other part that drives me now, and I'm going to use a word that I'm going to mention later, but I feel like I have a mission with Plexus. Do you guys ever feel like you have a mission in life? I feel like I have a mission in Plexus, and my goal is to help everybody in my team who wants this have this. Like, I feel like I have a gift and a purpose for a reason, and I feel like I'm using those gifts and purpose in this forum. And so my why is really heavily rooted in myself. And that's what I want in life. I want to empower others. I want to have a family, a big family, a financially secure family, because I know all those things that it brings. So long answer short, that was what I want in life. That's why I want it, right? I had that emotional touching to it, and how Plexus could fix that. So I want you guys to really be thinking on that question more so than any other question when we leave tonight, because I'm sure you're going to kind of go back to these questions. Number 2, I want you guys to change your why. Wait a minute, Sarah, you just told me to put my why on paper, and now you're telling me to change my why? Okay, hear me out. I want you to ask yourself, are you currently doing things in your Plexus business for the wrong reasons? Okay, now what do I mean by this? Okay, am I doing this just because Tara says to? Am I doing this just because my upline keeps asking if I've done it? Do I want the rank of gold just because everybody else has it, but I don't really have an attachment to it? Do I want to make $500 a month, $5,000 a month just to hit that number? It's arbitrary, but I don't have any emotion tied to it. Are you doing things in your Plexus business just to get things done? Or are you doing them in your business because you want to grow? You want to learn, you want to grow, you want to develop, as well as grow your team and your business. So why are you truly doing the things that you are doing? Like, think about it. What are you doing in your Plexus business right now? And why are you doing them? Because you feel like you should, right? Or are you doing it to genuinely grow? So I want you to change your why in this aspect, right? So write down right now, why do you really feel like you're doing what you're doing? Is it because, I don't know, because I'm supposed to be? This is what they say, right? And is this the true right reason why you're doing them? So this is a question I want you guys to write down. I want you to answer, but I want you to revisit this after our call. I think it's important to really think about that why, right? Why are you truly doing the things that you're doing on a daily basis? For me, one of my old answers to that could have been, I don't know, I just got in the rigmarole of doing my Plexus business and this is the way I've always done it, right? And I felt like if I didn't, I was not working. So I lost the joy within it, right? I lost the value and the sense of purpose within it, right? So change your why if you find yourself there. Number 3, okay, we're going to take a couple minutes to do this one. Make a list of 10 reasons you love sharing Plexus. 10 reasons you love sharing Plexus. This could be, I love the thrill of the chase. I love helping people with their health. I love challenging myself. I love reaching different goals in my business. I love being part of a team and a community and empowering women, whatever it is. 10 reasons why you love sharing Plexus. And when you've finished, or when you've gotten a couple down, I'd love for you guys to type a couple of them in the chat group. I want to read them out loud. Ooh, being an example for my kids. Man, that's one of my favorite ones, Kathy. Oh, I love that one. You know, I have 3 daughters of my own, in case you don't know. And I mean, my oldest is 5.5. And even at that young age, she's like, oh, Mama, are you working? Are you reaching dreams? Like, that's what she says. Like, how it's being an example for them, showing them that we can do anything that we set our minds to. Ooh, that's one of my favorite ones. The testimonies, yes, Kim. I mean, that's almost a given. Not to dismiss that, but golly, those are just amazing. Seeing others' lives change when nothing else worked. Ooh, Sarah gave me chills. Isn't that the truth? Man, I almost brought tears to my eyes just thinking about my own story and my depression and anxiety, and this helped with that. Ooh, that's so true. Getting out of my comfort zone. Right, posting pictures of myself. I don't like the spotlight. That's a good one, Joy. That's a good one. But don't you know that people will resonate with you on that, right? And doesn't it feel good to put yourself in the spotlight every once in a while? You deserve it. You deserve it, right? Facing my own fears. That's an interesting one, Dana. Not a lot of people will say that is one of their favorite things about Plexus, but it's one of mine because it's the space in which you grow, right? Facing my own fears. Ooh, those are so amazing. Opportunity to do a business with my sister and encourage and challenge each other, gaining incredible new friendships. Isn't that so amazing? Yes, you're going to form a bond with your sister, Jenny, that's like so much deeper and more interesting on a multi-dimensional level when doing this together, because that's what I experience with my husband. That's what I hear on sister teams or spousal teams. It's pretty amazing. I love those. Okay, so moving on. All right. Number 4, what did it feel like when you achieved a milestone or a rank or a prize in Plexus? Perhaps it's the first day that you got your first yes. Were you like, oh my God, did they really said yes? Like, what did that feel like? Or perhaps it's when you hit silver or gold or ruby or emerald, right? What did that feel like? Maybe it was Leaders Retreat. What did that moment when you saw like indescribable achievement, right? Achievement of a milestone. What did that feel like? And how much did it mean to you? I see fireworks. I see exciting written over here. How much did it mean to you? Was it fleeting? Was it something, okay, that was pretty amazing. That's all, I'm done. All right, if it happens again, it happens again. Or was it so impactful to you because it touched you on a deeper emotional value, core belief-driven system that it shaped your life and it shaped your motivation to do this business? It means everything. Yeah. What did that feel like? I want you guys to write right now that feeling. So clearly close your eyes, right? Go back to that moment because this is a real moment that's actually happened for you. What did you feel? Did you have goosebumps? Did you cry? Did you feel tears running down your cheeks? Did you hear a whole bunch of laughter and screaming coming from your mouth? Did you see the excited faces and proud faces of your spouse and your kids looking back at you? What did you hear, taste, smell, experience? Be descriptive in that and write it down. I want you guys to remember it. Caitlin, I love that. It felt surreal. It meant the world to me at that moment, and I was unstoppable. Once my momentum went down, that feeling fizzled, right? So how do we get momentum? Internal motivation, guys. One of the key things to getting that internal motivation, I say it on a lot of videos that I make, is action leads to motivation. A lot of the time, people make the biggest mistake, and they're like, well, I feel like I need to be motivated to do something, to act. False. You're setting yourself in quicksand. Action leads to motivation rather than motivation leading to action. All right, so what did it feel like when you achieved that huge milestone? All right, the next question. Write down a time or share it on the chat and or when you got a thank you from someone for sharing Plexus with them. Share a time when you got a thank you or positive feedback, but specifically I want to hear it like thank you from someone because you shared Plexus with them. Write a time. Oh, Jenny, you got one tonight? That's why I was a few minutes late jumping on. Oh, I love that. Oh, you want me to repeat? Okay, share a time when you got a thank you from someone for sharing Plexus with them. Golly, I have one. One of the more powerful ones, because I'm a mama and I love babies, is when a girlfriend of mine who was told she'd never be able to have children got pregnant because of Plexus. And she called me. I was the first person she told before her mom. She called me and she was crying and she was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Pretty amazing, right? I received a thank you 2 days ago. God, don't those thank yous really just remind you why it is that you're doing what you're doing? In anything in life, guys, in anything and everything, there are going to be days when you don't feel like doing it, when it's not fun, right? Shake your head if you know what I'm talking about. There's always a day where I don't feel like momming. I'm like, don't touch me, don't say my name again. I am so done with being a mom today, right? There are days where it's not fun and you don't feel like doing it. But it's moments like this, right? It's in moments like this, the thank yous that remind us why we're doing it. It's seeing the twinkle in the eyes of our children that remind us of why being a mother is amazing, for example, to piggyback off what I'm saying, right? Right? So reminding yourself constantly of the thank yous that you get and the whys behind what you're doing. Because we can get lost in these goals. We can get lost in, oh, I need so many points. I need this much of a paycheck. I need this certain milestone, whatever. We can get lost in that and we can lose. It can become very black and white, right? And in the gray is where those emotions lie that fuel us. So I want you guys to remind yourself, write these times down. This is beside the point, but raise your hand if you've ever heard of a gratitude journal. I challenge you, if you're struggling in your Plexus business to stay motivated, or anything in life, anything, have a gratitude journal specifically for that area. So have a Plexus gratitude journal. Every day, write at least one thing that you're thankful for because of Plexus. Maybe somebody thanked you. Maybe, it was able to pay your electricity bill, but just one little thing. I had a great connection with a girl on my team and I didn't know her, but I met somebody new. Have a Plexus gratitude journal. Okay, that was kind of a side thing. All right, next question. Okay, might take a little bit of time, but I want you to do it. Write a promotion announcement for one of your level ones. If you don't have any level ones yet, I want you to write it for somebody that you have in mind. Maybe they haven't joined your team yet, but you want them to. But I want you to be thinking about a specific person. And if they are on your team, clearly you're going to think about the journey that you've helped them get there and all the things and the growth you've seen in them. But I want you to write their next promotion announcement. And I want you to be thinking or be cognizant of how it's making you feel knowing that you had a small hand in helping them achieve a goal that enhanced their life. So write a level one's promotion announcement. When you're done, pop over to the chat and write some emotion words of how you feel right now. I see pumped, proud, happy, inspired, humbled to have this opportunity. I just can't get over it. Jenny, when I met you, girl, I was like, she is going to love this and be so good at it. I am so happy that you are loving this. Oh, I cannot tell you how excited this makes me feel for you. One of my level ones hit Ruby on February 28th. And we were going so fast that I hadn't even made her promotion announcement, written it, or made her graphic yet. We were just like, woo, running towards it. The moment that we realized it clicked over, I started bawling my eyes out, and I grabbed the phone and I called her, and she and I just cried, and we were so excited, and I felt so proud of her, and then of I felt purposeful. I felt like I had a sense of purpose. It gave me a sense of purpose knowing that I helped somebody change their life. And it wasn't that I was some rock star. It was a God-given purpose that I had a ripple effect in someone else's life. That is so hard to explain. It's amazing, right? It's amazing. Now, think of what you would do to help write as many level 1 promotion announcements as you could because people are really ranking up. That's a solid why, right? It takes you out of the equation and it puts you to your team, right? I swear I've said this for, golly, at least 4 years, 5 years. Obviously when I was beginning to rank up by myself, I didn't understand this. So there's a little time lapse between the day I joined and realizing this. But I truly, truly, truly feel that it is more exciting for me to announce a level 1's promotion graphic than me be announced for a promotion. Do any of y'all feel that? That's part of my why that will drive me through brick walls to help someone get there, right? So remind yourself about that as well. Number 8, or this is 7, I think. Write what it will feel like when you hit, and you can pick one of these 3. Write what it will feel like when you hit emerald, sapphire, or diamond. Now go back to what I said earlier. I want you to close your eyes, and this time we're not thinking of a moment that has happened. We are thinking of a future moment that will happen. It's just a moment of days in between. I firmly believe that. This is not a matter of if it's going to happen. It is a matter of when it's going to happen, right? Give me some yeses and all the head shakes, because that is the truth. It is not a matter of if, it is a matter of when. It's just a number of days in between. So we're going to close our eyes and we're going to think, okay, I just looked at my back office and I see 4,500 points for the first time. That's diamond, right? Or 1,500 points. That's emerald. Or 3,000. That's sapphire. I want you to think, what do you see? What do you feel? What do you hear? What do you taste? Is your bestie sitting next to you popping a bottle of champagne? Are you tasting the bubbles? Are you feeling tears roll down your cheeks? Are you hearing the screams of your team on a Zoom or on a party next to you? Are you hugging and feeling the embrace of your loved ones? What feelings do you feel? I want you to journal that. Mad crazy, write it all down. Just write it. And be so specific in it that it is as if you were watching a movie of it play out. Man, I want you to think of this moment and journal this moment as if you are literally getting to choose how it will happen. For me, I remember dreaming about sitting at my desk, and I remember what it looked like, my chair, what my office looked like. And I remember clicking, refresh. And this is what I kept dreaming of, refresh. And then boom, I saw 4,500. And I remember the colors of the font in the back office. And I remember sitting in my chair Indian style, because that's how I always sit. And I remember jumping up, and I remember thinking, what am I going to, I was so specific in that I literally wrote it out as if I was writing a screenplay, writing a movie. What is it that you have around you? Who? What do you feel? What do you taste? What do you see? What do you hear? Now go over to the chat group in a minute, and I want you to write out some of those examples. Who's the first person you call? Right? Be so specific. And let us know in the chat group which one you picked, emerald, sapphire, or diamond. I find that interesting. I love that, Kim. I hit emerald. The first person I tell is my 10-year-old because I can't wait to see the joy on her face. She knows what we, I love that. She knows what we are working for. Oh, Patty, I love that. I immediately get on my knees and thank God. Tears of joy and accomplishment. Emerald promo, wishing my dad was alive to witness it. Lots of tears of joy. Oh, man, yeah. Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. Now go back to that first question that I asked you. What is it that you want in life? What is it that you truly want out of your life? Right? And you wrote down some things. Now, I want you to parallel those two answers right here. What you wrote to that question and to you hitting this emerald, sapphire, or diamond accomplishment. Now, obviously, you're feeling all these amazing emotions, but how, because of this promotion, are the things that you want in life being realized? Does that make sense? Shake your head if that makes sense. Right? It's great that you went emerald, but what does it mean that you went emerald? How does it help you get the things that you want out of life? Guys, I cannot tell you how powerful doing that exercise and reminding yourself of that exercise is. Because here's the deal. Here's the deal, and I wrote this down because I wanted to say it correctly. I want you to get where the fantasy, the dream of owning that promotion, that moment, that it holds so much pleasure for you and for your family that the work to get there seems like an obvious task, a simple decision to make without hesitation. The work seems almost involuntary because you hold so much pleasure in the thought of achieving that goal, that dream. Shake your head if that makes sense. Right? Does that make sense, guys? Yeah? When you are so invested, emotionally connected, and you gain so much pleasure from dreaming about achieving your dream, right? That it seems obvious that you work for it. That's where you want to be. Now, how do you get there? What do you want in life? How can Plexus help you get it? Right? Make sense? Make sense? Emerald, tears of joy, blessed, hands and face crying, jumping up and down with my daughters, jumping into my husband's arms, because I know I will finally be a stay-at-home mama. Yeah. I mean, they say mama bears are a fierce species, right? There's nothing that will stand in front of me at being a mama from me getting something for my kids. When there are days where I don't feel like working Plexus, or when there are days that I feel like it's impossible for me to reach my goals, I look into the eyes of my children and by golly, I am ready to bust down the walls. I am constantly reminding myself of my why, right? I hit emerald, feel proud of myself, just changed thousands of lives. It's true. I'm crying tears of joy, thanking God for this amazing opportunity. My family's life will never be the same because I decided not to give up. Amber Johnson, that's beautiful. I love the words that you chose because I decided not to give up. It is a decision to not be motivated, guys. It is a decision to not be motivated. It is this decision to not give up. All right, the next question. Okay, what do you value most? What do you value most? What do you value most in life? Authenticity, honesty, loyalty, learning, growth, connection. What do you value most And how is that related to the work you do while sharing Plexus? What do you value most, and how are those values tied to the work you do by sharing Plexus? Share some responses in the chat whenever you feel you're ready. What do you value most, and how does your work in sharing Plexus tie to that? So for me, one of my core values is learning. This is just one example. I told myself, I mean, I loved school, you guys. I was one of those people that absolutely loved reading books, learning any sort of topic other than like math. I loved learning. My mom used to call me a student of life ever since I was little. I just craved it. If there was an opportunity for me to ask why or how, I asked it. And if I couldn't find the answer, I went and found it myself. Or if somebody didn't know the answer, I would go and find it myself. So learning is a core value of myself. Growing is a core value. So how does Plexus relate to that? I'm constantly reading self-development, leadership, influence books. And so I'm constantly getting that learning piece about something in life that is not just a topic in school. It's how the world is affected. It's how my world is affected. My kids' worlds are affected, right? And one of the cool things about Plexus is I get to teach that. So for me, a core value of myself I find in Plexus. When you can relate a value that you have with what you do, you are 100 times more likely to do it on a consistent basis. Wouldn't you agree? So if this is a question that you struggle with, I want you to take some time after the call and really think on this. What do you value most, right? Is it friendships? Don't you know you can find that here in Plexus, right? What do you value most? Connection? Okay, the next question, and we're about halfway done, guys. Write a meaningful metaphor for yourself. Okay, and you're like, what? What do you talk about? What is a metaphor? Okay, so here, okay, hear me out. Here's some examples, right? And it's kind of like a mantra, an affirmation that you say to yourself oftentimes to keep you going, right? So the little engine that could had that mantra, right? The little engine that could, right? Some other examples are I'm a little bit fierce. I'm a little bit fierce. I'm a little bit fierce. Or maybe your life is just epic adventures. I want epic adventures, epic adventures. So you're constantly, seeking out adventures and new experiences. Eye of the tiger. I am a survivor. I'm a lover. I'm a fighter. I'm a healer. I'm a lion. I'm a truth seeker. I'm an empowerer, a mentor. I am an influencer. My mantra, my metaphor for life, I'm using metaphor loosely here on mine, is this is my mission. This is my mission. This is my mission. I feel very tied to sharing Plexus because I feel it is a mission of mine. When you have a metaphor that you can repeat to yourself as a mantra on the days or the times when it's hard to do the work, it keeps you going. It keeps you grounded. So write something down that you maybe find yourself saying a lot. Just do it, Nike. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Right? I remember when I was studying gymnastics and I was afraid to do the front flip, and I'd be jumping on the trampoline and I'd have to like psych myself out. Just do it, Tara. Just do it. Just do it. And then I'd be like, and I'd throw my body forward, right? Just do it. Just do it. What are you repeating to yourself that keeps you going? Anybody feel free to write their example on the chat group. Meaningful metaphor or mantra for yourself. Okay, for sake of time, we're going to move on. All right, so this one, I want you guys to think of maybe, the title of this question is called Change Your Question. Change your question. Perhaps you've been asking yourself, why do I have to share Plexus? Or why do I not want to? Or why am I struggling to stay motivated? Or why is it hard for me to work my business? If you ever find yourself kind of secretly asking that question to yourself, nod your head if you've ever been there. We're all going to be there at some point, right? Nod your head if you've ever been there and you're kind of like, why do I do this, right? Okay, so good. So I want you to flip it. Instead of asking, why do I not want to work my business? I want you in that moment, and so I want you to write this down because I'm sure a question has popped to your mind as I've given some examples. Write that question down, and then I want you to write the opposite of that question. So instead of why do I not want to work Plexus, I want you to immediately catch yourself thinking that and ask yourself, why do I want to work Plexus? Another example is, why do I feel like I have to work Plexus right now? God, why am I struggling with this? Okay, so maybe you're thinking that. I want you to catch yourself, and instead of why do I have to, why do I choose to? So I want you to flip the question that you're saying to yourself in your mind. Does this make sense to everybody? Thumbs up if that makes sense. Yeah? What's hard? Why is it hard to share Plexus? No, right? Why is it easy to share Plexus? Why is it hard for me to step out of my comfort zone? No. Why is it valuable and worth it for me to step out of my comfort zone? Make sense? Make sense? I'd love for somebody to give their example over in the chat group whenever you get a chance. What's your hard question that you keep asking yourself, and how can you flip it? Okay, next question, and I'll be checking the chat group for anybody who offers up an example. Okay, now I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to imagine that, let me back up. How motivated would you be to work your Plexus business if I told you that you would absolutely 100% without a doubt hit your next rank on March 31st if you worked every single day this month? How motivated would you be to work your business if I told you that without a single doubt, it was 100% certainty that on March 31st of this month, you would promote to your next rank, but you had to work every single day, right? If you knew without a doubt that you could improve and increase your business, would you? Would you do it? Would you do it? How motivated would you be? Because guys, let me tell you something. Every single month, people across the board in the entire company of Plexus are promoting. So why not you? Why not you? The individuals that are promoting are working consistently. They believe in themselves. They believe that they will increase their business. There are diamond promotions every month, sapphire promotions every month, emerald promotions every month, all the way down to silver. So why aren't you? 99.9% of the time, when somebody is not ranking up, it has to do with their mind. They don't believe they can. They don't believe they're worth it. They're not motivated to do it. So why not you? On a scale of 1 to 10, how hard would you work if I told you, March 31st, you're promoting, but you have to work every single day? Would you do it? It's a question for you, right? Number 13, what are you truly afraid of? What are you truly afraid of? And how could achieving your dreams with Plexus remove or lessen that fear? What are you truly afraid of? For me, I kind of touched base on this at the beginning of the call, but one of my fears based on my childhood, one of my fears is being poor. Being poor. And it has a whole bunch of compacted emotions for me that go so far deeper than just the money aspect of it. But that is a huge fear of mine, of being poor. Because I saw how it affected my childhood, my self-worth, my self-esteem, my confidence. I shamed myself, my family for it. I was embarrassed. And so that affected my childhood and it bled into my adult life. And I definitely absolutely do not want that for my children. So that is one of my fears, right? How can Plexus help you with one of your fears, right? It doesn't have to be your biggest fear, but what is a fear of yours? Maybe being alone is a fear. How can Plexus help lessen or remove that fear? So write down the first fear that comes to your mind and see if there's a way to tie Plexus, being successful in Plexus, working your business, how does that tie to your fear? Give me some thumbs up when I can move on. Oh, Kim, I love that example that you just gave. Why is it taking so long to rank up? Instead of that question, why am I ranking up so fast? You know, perspective is so important, guys. It is so important. In the grand scheme of things, ranking up um, in 10 years in network marketing is very, very, very fast, very fast. And where else in the world could you go from making no money to $500 to $5,000 to $10,000? Where in the world could you have control of your own bonuses and your own pay increases and your own growth, right? Perspective, that's so key. Why am I ranking up so fast? I can promise you that the rank you are, there is someone out there that wishes they were your rank. I can 100% guarantee you it, right? Even if it's, I'm just an ambassador, there's somebody out there that wishes they could afford the $39.99 to join. I mean, think about it, guys. Not being good enough is a fear. It can help me be more confident. Plus, we have a community that builds others up. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Yes. Okay. So here's a hypothetical question, right? And it's not going to take a long time to answer this one. But if I told you in a completely fake world, because this is not true, this is not happening. Okay, let me preface this. In a completely fake world, I want you to imagine if Plexus, the company, completely stopped growing. We could no longer tell another person about Plexus because you can't purchase it anymore as a new ambassador, right? So the rank that you are and the points that you have and the paycheck that you have and the lives that you've touched, that's it. It remains the same. How satisfied would you be? How satisfied would you be if I told you, well, that was it. I hope you used your time wisely because there's no more growing to be done in Plexus. How satisfied would you be? I wouldn't be satisfied. Me neither. It's not about, for me, it's not about the ranks or the points of the paycheck. It's, dang it, I wanted her to try these products because I knew they'd change a life, or I should have told that other person. I was just too afraid to tell him, but I should have told that person. This could have been their answer. They could have already been gold or senior gold by now had I shared with them this possibility. They could have come off their medicine if I would have shared with them, right? That would be horrible. I would hate that. Not because of the points of the paycheck. It'd be about the journey and those who wouldn't get to be on it with me. Yes. So why are you wasting days on your journey right now? What if I told you you had 20 days left? That's it. How many people would you go talk to about Plexus? How bold would you be? How confident would you be? How passionate would you be? I'd argue you'd be pretty dang passionate. Time is a gift, my friends. It is not a entitled thing that you will always have. Right? So why are you allowing weeks to pass by, months to pass you by without truly sharing Plexus and building your legacy? I want that to resonate with you guys. I want you to think of where do you want to be in 1 year? So write 1 year down and 5 years down. And I'm not talking about Plexus, right? I want you to imagine your life. What does it look like? Where do you live? What house? Who's around you? What does your vacations look like? What does your bank account look like? What do your relationships look like? What does your faith look like? Where do you want to be in 1 year? And where do you want to be in 5 years? Jot down some words. Dream of what that life looks like. And I want you to be bold. I want you to dream big, y'all. Don't put yourself in a box. Dream wildly in 1 year and in 5 years. Could Plexus help you reach any part of that dream for your 1 year or for your 5-year plan? Could Plexus help you with any part of that? And that's a yes or no question there. Here's another yes or no question following that. Would doing the same thing you are doing now get you there? For some of you, that may be yes. For some of you, that may be no. If you stopped sharing Plexus, would that get you there? Your dreams 1 year and 5 years down the road. Type yes if I can move on to the next question. Alrighty. Okay, what would you tell yourself if I told you, what advice would you tell yourself if I told you that on February 28th of 2019, a few days ago, that you could have hit emerald or diamond, but you didn't, only because you didn't remain motivated last year? What advice would you say to yourself that might have changed your efforts that you put into your business last year? What advice would you tell yourself if I told you that on February 28th, 2019, you would have hit emerald or diamond, but you didn't because you didn't remain motivated last year? What advice would you tell yourself to change your efforts? Okay, this next one, I'm going to put your pen down. Put your pen down. I want you to roll your shoulders back. All right, relax. Okay, I want you, and I would prefer you guys to do it on the call, but you guys can chat on this. You guys can tell me, or you can turn it in, but I want to see them. I don't want you to say, oh, I'm going to do it and then forget about it. I want to see them. I want you to make your next promotion graphic. I want you to make it, okay? And I want you to set it as your home screen on your phone so that you see it constantly. You see your picture, you see your name, you see that next rank. Every time, I mean, how many times do we open our phone each day? 2,517? That would be me, right? Okay, a lot of times. But it's the more we think about it, the more we see it, the more we believe it is true. And guess what? When you do that, it leads your actions to what? Achieving it. So I'm going to make a post in Slim Jims tonight, and I'm going to say post your next promotion graphic below. And I want to see those from every single one of you. And I want you to take a screenshot of it being your home screen on your phone. I want to know that you didn't just make it and forget about it. I want to know that you see it. Okay? All right, so that's some homework. We're going to save some time. That's your homework. I'm going to call you out if I don't see it. I'm going to tag you and go, where is it? I want to see them. Okay, and the last question for tonight is going to take some thought. Okay? All right, I want you guys, this is a journaling exercise called vision casting. And I did this. If you came to Austin and went to my Leslie Zann training, she did this, and it was extremely powerful for me and David. She did it for 10 minutes, but for sake of time, we're just going to do it for the next 5, okay? And then we'll be done. But I want you to journal, and I want you to write as fast as what you think, right? Just journal, boom, 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 boom. And I want you to imagine 1 year from today, March 6th, 2020, 1 year from today. And you can journal in all different aspects of your life. You can journal specifically about your faith. You can journal specifically about your relationships. You can journal specifically about your finances. You can journal specifically about your career. For tonight, we're going to journal about Plexus. Shocking, right? But that's what we're going to journal about, okay? So I want you to imagine 1 year from today, March 6th, 2020, what does your business look like? I want you to be so specific, guys. Again, notice what I'm doing here. I want you to feel, taste, smell, see. I want you to write it as if you are writing a screenplay for a movie. People are going to do it, right? What does your business look like? How many points do you see at the end of the month? How many leaders, level 1 leaders, do you have on your business? How many gold level 1s? What rank are you? What does your average paycheck look like? How many of your friends have joined you? And who? Be specific. How many of your friends have been able to quit their jobs because of Plexus? How many friends of yours have been able to sleep at night and not lose their house because of Plexus? Pay for bills because of Plexus? How many of your friends have been able to find health because of your business? How many trips have you gotten to take because of Plexus? How have you been able to bless others because of your business? What does your business look like exactly 1 year from today? And because your business looks like this, how has your life and your family changed? Okay, guys, I want you to kind of slowly wrap that up. I encourage you to do this vision casting every 4 months and spend more than 3 to 5 minutes on it. Spend 10 minutes, spend 20 minutes just sitting and journaling of what it would look like. And revisit this a few times each month. Reread what you wrote a few times each month, and every 3 months spend another 10 to 20 minutes and really journal. What's really, really neat about this is when you go back and you revisit it, you'll see that parts of what you journaled literally will become truth. And that was what was so powerful for David and I, because when we did this, we saved ours. I mean, I could go get it. It's in that drawer right over there. I could show you his. He journaled his. It's right over there. And we visit it often. And when we revisited it 12 months later, we read it and we were like, oh my gosh, it was eerie. It was eerie how similar our actual life was to what he envisioned. And he never let me read his. He was very private about his, but that's just him. He's an introverted person. But as I read it, I mean, it was like, this is insane. But he read it often. He read that to himself often throughout those 12 months. It's really amazing what vision casting does for your life and for your business. All right, really, really amazing. And the last question I'm going to ask you that's for you guys to think on, but when it's all said and done, will you have said more than you've done? Right? When it's all said and done, will you have said more than you have done? And that is going back to the thought of action leads to motivation, right? I can sit here and I can look at you in your eye and say, you can absolutely do this. I believe in you. I believe in you. And I can just pour every ounce of energy into you and tell you all of the wonderful and great things about you because I believe them to be true. But 30 minutes after I end, you're going to go right back to your own beliefs. You have to understand why it is that you want to do this. That was the purpose of these questions that are so specifically designed to tug on those emotions, to tug on those values, to tug on those fears, to tug on your why, to tug on who you are as a person, because I am not around you 24/7. Your upline is not around you 24/7. You can't listen to trainings 24/7. But you have you 24/7. I see greatness in every single one of you, but I also can sometimes pinpoint a spot of fear where you stop yourself, a point of doubt where you stop yourself, where I know you could go to greater heights, but you're not because you're stopping yourself. I know you could stretch yourself, but you keep saying, I've stretched myself as far as I could stretch. No. And that's not because I'm pushing you, but it's because I see greatness in you. Why, dang it? Why do you not see that in yourself? Why do we not see that in ourselves? When you work on how you view yourself, when you work on why you do the things that you do, when you work on understanding why Plexus is important and how it could change your life and lives around you, guys, you're not going to need me. You're going to go, who, Tara, who? I don't need to watch her trainings. I don't need to go to her Zooms. I've got this. That's my hope for you. Genuinely. My hope is that you don't need me. And I am here to testify. As a living, breathing person who has done this, I am here to testify it is possible for every single one of you. So I hope you took time tonight to write these questions down. I hope you took time to really think about this. But my bigger hope is that you revisit this, that you go back to this, not when we're on a recording, not when you feel pressure, not when you feel like there's timing and you're going to say the wrong thing or that you're afraid that I'm going to read your chat out loud. I want you to spend some quiet time with yourself because you deserve it. And I want you to answer these questions thoroughly, well thought out. I did this. I did exactly what I asked you to do tonight. And I thought I was pretty good in my motivation. I was like, I'm good. I'm pretty motivated. Y'all, when I did this, when I truly did this, I came out way more motivated than I was before. If this was helpful, please let me know in the chat. Let me know that you feel more motivated. If you're like, you know, I'm still struggling, PM me, let me know, right? I truly believe that when you guys focus on these specific questions, your motivation will cast you to such great heights, right? Okay, guys, let's go win those iPads because it's fun, but let's go share Plexus because it's meaningful. Agreed? Agreed? I love you guys. I hope you guys have a fantastic evening. Thanks, guys.